Picture this. First date goes perfectly. Great conversation, amazing food, genuine connection. Then the bill arrives, and suddenly everything falls apart because you offered to pay. Welcome to the world of culture tips on who pays when on dates, where the exact same gesture can mean respect or insult, depending on which side of the world you're on. Okay, let's talk about Sweden first, because their approach to dating payments is intense.
How so?
Swedish first dates operate on this principle of radical equality. The bill arrives, and both people immediately reach for it, not out of politeness, but genuine expectation that they're splitting it exactly down the middle.
Like calculating who had the extra appetizer.
Yes! I heard about this Swedish woman, Emma, who went on a date with an American visiting Stockholm. Great evening, amazing chemistry. Bill comes, she pulls out her card. The American insists on paying. Very gallantly, he thought.
I'm guessing that didn't go well.
Emma went cold instantly. She spent the rest of the evening explaining that his gesture, while well-intentioned, suggested she couldn't afford her own meal, that she owed him something. There was no second date.
That's the Swedish logic though, isn't it? Financial equality signals dating equality.
Exactly. If you're both adults with jobs, why would one person subsidize the other's dinner? They see paying for someone as almost patronizing, like you don't view them as your equal.
What about the obligation piece?
That's huge for them. If someone pays for your dinner, does that mean you owe them a second date? Physical affection? Swedish culture finds that transactional nature deeply uncomfortable. Splitting the bill keeps everything clean.
So it's not about being cheap, it's about avoiding debt.
Social debt, emotional debt, any kind of debt. They want to start relationships between equals with no strings attached. It's actually kind of beautiful when you think about it.
Though probably exhausting to calculate.
Right? Here's a culture tip though. If you're dating in Sweden, you can eventually treat each other, but it's usually saved for established relationships. First date, always split. Maybe by the fifth date, you take turns. But even then, there's this unspoken ledger.
How romantic.
To Swedes, it is romantic. No games, no expectations, no wondering what generosity really means. Just two people getting to know each other without financial dynamics complicating things. Now, Korea takes the completely opposite approach.
Go on.
In Korea, the idea of splitting a first date bill would mortify most people, especially the man. Korean dating culture is still quite traditional, despite being this ultra-modern society. Men paying demonstrates their ability to provide and their serious interest.
So if a man suggests splitting the bill,
he's essentially announcing he's not that interested. It's a rejection signal.
that's brutal.
There's this Korean-American woman, Jennifer, who learned this the hard way. She grew up in California, visited Seoul, went on a date with a local guy. Bill comes, she offers to split it. Very California of her. He looked genuinely hurt.
What happened?
Later, through mutual friends, she learned he'd been really excited about her, but interpreted her offer as polite rejection. She thought she was being considerate. He thought she was saying she didn't want to see him again.
Because in Korea, women are expected to offer to pay, aren't they?
Yes! It's called the polite offer. But the man is expected to refuse and cover it. It's completely choreographed. Both people know their roles.
What if a woman actually wants to pay, though?
First date? Don't push it. The cultural script is too powerful. However, in established relationships, women often pay for smaller things. Coffee, snacks, movie tickets. But dinner, especially nice dinners, stays in the man's domain.
I've noticed some evolution with younger Koreans in my work. More progressive couples sometimes alternate who pays.
True, but it's still usually meal for meal, not splitting individual checks. The idea of calculating each person's exact share feels petty to them.
It's about reciprocity over time, rather than transaction by transaction equality.
Exactly! And hierarchy plays into it too. The person with higher status or income often pays. On a first date, traditional gender roles place that on men. But between friends, the older or more senior person covers it.
So a Swedish woman and Korean man on a first date would be an absolute disaster.
Without explicit conversation, someone's definitely getting offended.
So here's my question. How do you actually navigate dating someone from a different payment culture?
You have to talk about it, which is precisely what people avoid on first dates.
Because nobody wants to kill the romance by negotiating the bill.
Brazilian culture has found something of a middle path, though. Men typically pay on first dates, similar to Korea, but women are expected to contribute once the relationship develops. It's gradual rather than immediate.
That seems reasonable.
Middle Eastern cultures take it even further. The man pays for everything, period. A woman offering to split can be seen as questioning his masculinity or financial stability.
My grandmother would completely agree with that. She does not understand why I insist on paying for myself sometimes.
Really?
Oh yeah, to her generation, regardless of culture, men paying was just how it worked. It's really the last few decades where we've seen this massive divergence in expectations. And now we're in this global dating market where people from all these traditions are matching on apps.
Right? Nobody knows what anyone expects anymore. I watched an American friend try to pay on a first date in Dubai once. His date was Emirati. She was genuinely confused why he asked if she wanted to split it.
How did she interpret it?
As either poverty or rudeness. Neither good signals for a first date.
So what's the actual advice here? How do you broach this without making it weird?
Some people address it before meeting. When discussing cultural backgrounds, they mention payment expectations casually. Others wait until the bill comes and read the situation.
Read how?
If your date reaches for their wallet confidently, they expect to split. If they sit back politely, they expect you to pay. But that's a lot of social cue reading for what should be a simple transaction.
Which is why it's never actually about the money. It's about respect, tradition, gender roles, obligation, independence, generosity, everything except the actual cost of dinner.
All projected onto one moment when the server drops the check.
Terrifying, isn't it?
Okay, so here's what I'm taking from all this. The payment question isn't really about fairness or equality or tradition. It's about what we're signaling to each other.
Exactly. Swedes signal independence and equality. Koreans signal serious interest and capability. Middle Easterners signal respect and honor.
Americans signal, well, we're still figuring it out.
Still workshopping it.
The real challenge is that in international dating, or even dating someone raised in a different cultural tradition within your own country, you're both sending signals the other person might completely misinterpret.
Like that Swedish woman who thought the American was being patronizing.
Or the Korean man who thought Jennifer was rejecting him. Neither person was wrong. They were just operating in different cultural frameworks.
So the actual culture tip here is talk about it beforehand?
As unromantic as that sounds, yes. Or, at minimum, approach the payment moment with curiosity rather than assumption.
If someone insists on paying, ask yourself what that gesture means in their culture. If someone insists on splitting, consider what independence means to them.
And maybe recognize that there's no universal right answer here.
None whatsoever. Swedish couples would be horrified by Korean payment traditions. Korean couples might see Swedish bill splitting as cold. Middle Eastern couples might view both as bizarre.
But they're all perfectly valid within their own cultural contexts.
The trick is figuring out which context you're operating in.
Or creating a new one together. That's the beauty and terror of cross-cultural dating. You get to negotiate your own rules.
Rather than assuming your date magically understands your cultural programming.
Which we all do on first dates. We assume everyone operates by our rules until proven otherwise.
And then we're surprised when the bill arrives and suddenly we're speaking completely different languages.
All over who pays for pasta.
Thanks for watching this deep dive into dating payment culture. If you've ever experienced bill time awkwardness on an international date, you're not alone. And now you know why it happened.
Next episode, we're tackling an even trickier territory, the pursuit protocol. Because if paying for dates is complicated, wait until you hear what happens when cultures disagree on who should make the first move. Asking someone out directly in America means confidence. In Japan, it might mean you're coming on way too strong.
If you're enjoying these culture tips on international dating disasters, hit that subscribe button. We're releasing new episodes every Tuesday and Friday.
And if you survived your own cross-cultural dating confusion, drop a comment. We read them all.
Until next time, may your dates be culturally fluent.
Or at least carry enough cash for your half.